This evening is the opening night for video assistant referees in the UEFA Champions League. VAR is in place to support the referee for decisions concerning 4 match-changing situations. They are for goals, incidents in the penalty area, red cards and mistaken identity. The video assistant referee is there to inform the on-pitch referee when there is evidence of a clear and obvious mistake in one of those match-changing situations, and the referee has a screen pitch side that he can look at if required. How do you think VAR, Didi? You're not a fan, I know. How do you think it's going to work?
Well, I've seen it in Germany for the last 18 months, and the controversy and the discussion has become more rather than less. And I think they chose it, or they picked it too early in Germany. I think it was a test phase when they first started the season before this one. And I'd be very interested how it's going to go tonight, because the thing is, you know, you say now the referee can go and watch it. This is what happened in Germany on a weekly basis now. VAR, the assistant says, have a look at this incident. Now, for me, if the referee has to look at the incident again, it can't be a clear mistake. So that is not given, that it's if it's a clear mistake, the guys, wherever they sit, they can or should make the decision. And as I said, there's been an awful lot of controversial decisions, and people actually get a bit fed up. Even a lot of people who were pro VAR at the start, I think a lot of people are fed up with it now.
What about the fact that it is being introduced, Liam, mid-season? We've already had the group phase, and I'm sure there's a couple of teams probably feel a bit hard done by it. Oh, if I'd had VAR in that incident, maybe things might have been different. Maybe they'd be involved tonight.
Well, I'd agree somewhat with Didi. It's up for debate. You know, I think the World Cup was probably just slightly better for it, Dara. And we've had some. I watched a game on Sunday. Brighton played, can't remember.
Burnley?
Burnley. Brighton played Burnley. Jeff Hendrick handled the ball quite, blatantly handled the ball. Brighton should have got a penalty kick, maybe make it 2-1. Referee missed it, linesman missed it. They go down the other end and they get a penalty and they make it 3-0. So I think probably the game is better for it. But it all depends, who's making the calls, because in the World Cup, they pulled things up or they changed things, and we weren't always in agreement with it. So I'm for it, but not overwhelmingly for it.
Yeah, I suppose, Damien, going back to the World Cup and with the lads talking about, these decisions, and maybe, one of the big issues for people, and there were many, but one of the big issues was the time it took if there was a review. Now, those times did come down admittedly, from a pretty poor starting point.
Yeah, well, that was always my issue with it, the amount of time wasted. Like, yeah, it's not the fastest game in the world, but it's the most exciting. And, there was so many lulls in the game in the World Cup, referees running off the pitch. It was, farcical at times. But I just think there's too much money in the game now for us not to have it. And listen, I think the longer we have it, it's just going to improve year in, year out. So I'm intrigued, we had the World Cup, there's been a break, so they must feel it's ready again to go. So I'd be for it.